Good Shabbos, everyone. I'm Greg Yawitz, Board Chair of the Jewish Federation of St. Louis.
And I'm Brian Herstig, the CEO.
Thank you again for joining us on our weekly video update call. We hope you've had a healthy and safe week, and we hope that you're in store for a restful and peaceful Shabbat this weekend. We thought we'd give you an update on, sorry, Brian, go ahead.
Hopefully it'll be nice out and people can get outside. It feels like summer is right around the corner.
Yeah, it feels like summer's around the corner other than the frost warning for tonight, which in the second week of May is a bit much to handle this time of year, but hence the long sleeve shirts. So much like with the virus, we just never know what's going to come week to week. And the weather in St. Louis obviously holds up to its reputation of wait 15 minutes and the weather here will certainly change.
Yeah.
But we digress. So we wanted to just check in with everyone, give you an update on what we've been working on this week, and give you a feel for what's going on in the community. On Mondays and Thursdays, we continue our community leadership calls with an average of around 50 of our community board chairs or chief executives on a call with Brian and I, sharing best practices, talking about issues that are facing the community, and keeping an eye on the status of things so that we are, as a federation, able to address them.
Yeah, and actually this week we did a specialized call with that group on Thursday. We heard from a couple of our organizations, from the CEO of a couple of community organizations that have already opened or stayed open throughout this crisis, just to talk about the kinds of things that they had to deal with as they opened, because many of our institutions are just starting to think about that process. And it was a great way to get really an eye into the mind and on the ground of what challenges really were out there when organizations were getting ready and were opening again. And on Tuesday as well, we did in cooperation with the United Way, Zoom webinar around the PPP loans. There's been a lot of talk about them, about whether or not-for-profits should keep them or turn them back in. And so we had a couple of accounting and legal representatives to talk with community agencies, not just Jewish community, but broader community as well, about some of the challenges, the issues, the unknowns that are going on around there.
You know, on a slightly humorous basis, I will say the rules around this PPP are much like the weather here in St. Louis. They've been changing a little more frequently than I think any of us would like. But what's great is what you pointed out, that the Federation is pulling together the experts in the field, not just for the Federation and not just for the Jewish community, but the entire community, to work through this, to look at the changes as they come and make sure that we're all as an entire community fully up to speed so we make the best possible decisions. So
absolutely.
And
this was the case where we did one of these several weeks ago, and the United Way heard about it and asked if they could invite their group of membership organizations. This time they reached out to us. At the same time, we were planning on doing a second one and saying, we're thinking about doing a second one. Can we do it together again? So it was really a nice recognition of the role that we can help play in the community in bringing resources and expertise that we have to bear.
Exactly. So we're, as a federation, doing those things I think you all hope that we do, which is bringing resources to our community, not just financial, but human and advice and expertise, to make sure that when we emerge from this and as we emerge from this, our community is as strong as it can possibly be, that no one is left out, that no one has a question go unanswered. You know, why we continue to do things like make sure the food pantry has enough food, make sure there are enough volunteers there, make sure they have adequate security barriers to run the traffic through, which is up over 800%, and keep an eye on the community, keep our finger on the pulse, so to speak, and having these community calls is a great way to do that because we're all sharing together.
Yeah, and like you said, one of the things that it really does is, look, as a federation, part of our responsibility is to help raise funds on behalf of the community. Many of you stepped forward to help us do that with the response fund specifically, which has brought in over $650,000. But all of these agencies rely on our support every year through what we give them in the annual campaign. And this past week, we restarted our annual campaign, which we had put on hold for a little bit. And I'm happy to report that the donors that we've gone to have been really responsive. And with very, very few exceptions, we're seeing people give as much as they did last year, if not a little more. And it's because that there's an understanding that the organizations that we help fund that do so much good in the community count on those dollars year after year for the base of their support so they can open their doors and put forward the incredible programming and services that they do all the time. So thank you to those of you who have given when approached, and to those of you that we will approach, we appreciate, if you're able to at this time, your participation as well.
Exactly. Whatever you can do to help is greatly appreciated, and you'll know that what we're doing is ensuring this community is stable, but doing those things that we've always been doing, the important things that we've always been doing, and making sure that all of our systems are in place and that we're providing those things that the Federation has always done. So COVID response fund aside, a fund to respond to the crisis and the challenges with that, we still have a community to run. We still have organizations. We still have Jewish education. We still have food needs. We still have all the other things that we've always done. And our goal is to continue to do those and be better at them by responding to these challenges. So thank you for those of you who are able. Thanks aren't enough. I just want, so just know that we take all of this stuff extremely seriously and are being very responsible with our decision making. So besides the operation of the Federation, there are some events going on virtually in the community. Since we can't see you all in person anymore directly, we can see you online. And there's a couple great things coming up. I know we've just had our second Flagpole Series event Thursday night with Rick Recht. Amazingly, the video the first week, I think there were 400 or 500 people on at various times during the program, but in the ensuing days, the video was viewed over 15,000 times, which just tells me that there's that yearning in the community for this connection. And Rick, of course, is fabulous and has put on a wonderful program as all of our synagogues are doing in learning and all the other virtual events that we're doing. But Flagpole every Thursday, we had the second one yesterday, and we'll have 2 more in the coming weeks.
And thanks to the Steinberg Family Foundation for their support of that, and for the partnership of the J and Jewish Rock Radio for making those happen.
Absolutely. And I think we've got, I think the Yawitz School has their Community Raise a Glass Gala in the Cloud event coming up at 8:30 p.m. on May 14th. I think there's information on that online on Yawitz's Facebook page and on their website.
Yeah.
And on our Federation page, I know under virtual community events and virtual learning and virtual services, there are links to all kinds of things. So if you're looking for something to do, check the pages out. There are hours and hours and hours of activities online.
Go to jfedstl.org.
Exactly. So I don't know, Brian, if you have anything else. I think that...
No. My family took a trip. We rented a house and we came back to our former community. So my background is a little different, but we took the opportunity to get a different view out of our window. I hope everybody is taking an opportunity to get outside, to see via social distancing people, and take advantage of whatever spring there is left.
Exactly. We hope you enjoy, provided it warms up a little bit, the weather outside. As always, we're here for you. Reach out to Brian, reach out to me, reach out to any member of the staff. If there's something in the community we need to know about so that we can address it, the only way we're going to find out is if someone tells us. So we're talking to a lot of people, but if you think you know something that's important we should know, we really hope you'll reach out to us. Also, if you're looking for information, if you haven't already signed up online, if you have not heard, the Jewish Light is being delivered for free. Subscriptions are no longer a charge for subscriptions. This is a program that we started over a year ago, again, thanks to the generous support of the Steinberg Family Foundation and some other donors, so that if you aren't currently receiving the light, go to it's jewishlightstl.org or STL Jewish Light. If you Google it, you can find it. And sign up and you'll get the paper sent to your house. And there's one weekly edition printed and one online edition during the crisis. But if you don't have a subscription, please feel free to sign up. And
Shabbat Shalom, Greg.
Shabbat Shalom, Brian. Have a great time on your trip. And I look forward to seeing you all in person soon.
Take care.
Thanks.